Howdy fellas, welcome back to another video on Film Read. Today we'll be talking about the time when Pawn Stars scammed a gun from a customer. But before we go on any further, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure to press the bell icon so that you never miss our videos. Pawn Stars is an American reality television series shown on History and produced by Left Field Pictures. The series is filmed in Las Vegas, Nevada. By January 2011, Pawn Stars was History Channel's highest-rated series. According to the network and Nielsen Media Research, an original episode broadcast on January 24, 2011 was watched by 7 million viewers, the most watched telecast ever on History Channel. The series has also attracted some criticism from other pawnbrokers, who, while conceding its entertainment value, claim that the series' focus on the extravagant vintage items brought into the gold and silver pawn shop are not typical of the average pawn shop. Rick Harrison and his family own and run a pawn shop. In 2010, Rick Harrison and the staff of the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop were awarded the Pawnbroker of the Year award by the National Pawnbrokers Association for bringing the industry greater recognition and a better image with a TV show. They purchase, sell, and evaluate interesting artifacts with fascinating stories. The series depicts the staff's interactions with customers who bring in a variety of artifacts to sell or pawn and who are shown haggling over the price and discussing its historical background, with narration provided by either the Harrisons or Chum Lee. Numerous local experts in a variety of fields also regularly appear to appraise the items being sold or pawned. These Pawn Stars are stacking loot and sometimes have been found scamming their customers. And this time, the Pawn Stars scammed the gun from this one. Question: how much do you think these Pawn Stars can save in a month? Let us know in the comments below. In the 11th episode of Season 4, Rick buys a dazzling 1890s Colt 45 revolver. Rick's excitement is palpable, especially after the seller, Brian, foolishly reveals he purchased it for $25. They eventually agree on a price of $3,000. Upon inspection of the revolver, weapons expert Sean tells Rick that the gun is worth at least $5,000 in its current condition. But in fact, depending on exactly how rare the specific model is, it could be worth much more. Let's talk about the specs. Peacemaker, also known as the Single Action Army, is a single-action revolver with a revolving cylinder holding 6 metallic cartridges. It was designed for the U.S. Government Service Revolver Trials of 1872 by Colt's Patent Firearms Manufacturing Company, today's Colt Manufacturing Company, and was adopted as the standard military service revolver until 1892. The Colt SAA has been offered in over 30 different calibers and various barrel lengths. Its overall appearance has remained consistent since 1873. The Colt Single Action Army Peacemaker revolver is a famous piece of Americana. The original length of the barrel issued to the U.S. Cavalry was 7.5 inches, with an overall length of 13. Talking about its cartridge, the Colt was declared the superior revolver, and the government specified that a .45 caliber cartridge would be required. Many hot-headed cowboys and U.S. Army generals were keen of this sexy revolver. Lieutenant General George S. Patton, who began his career in the Horse Cavalry, carried a custom-made single-action army with ivory grips engraved with his initials and an eagle, which became his trademark. He used it during the Mexican Punitive Expedition of 1916 to kill 2 of Pancho Villa's lieutenants, and carried it until his death in 1945, shortly after the end of World War II. Colt has canceled its production twice, but brought it back due to popular demand. The revolver was popular with ranchers, lawmen, and outlaws alike, but as for the early 21st century, models are mostly bought by collectors and reenactors. Its design has influenced the production of numerous other models from other companies. It was sold at auction in 1987 for a whopping $242,000, according to the New York Times. Granted, the gun featured on Pawn Stars was from much later and was likely part of a larger production line, but the current pricing on similar era Colt 45 ranges from around $2,000 all the way up to $42,000. So yeah, Rick made an offer within the market range, but not surprisingly, it was on the extremely low end. In the end, Rick ventured out from the town to try out the gun, and surprisingly, it worked perfectly fine. and Rick manages to hit the target with 6 shots, out of which 3 shots hit the target. This shows how perfectly the gun was crafted back in that time. Anyway, with that, the video comes to an end, and we hope that you enjoyed the video. Also, drop a like so we can keep on making more interesting videos for you guys. Hope to see you guys soon in the next one.